The goal of every high school softball team in Oklahoma is to make it to the Hall of Fame Stadium. That's because they will be playing in the state tournament. Here are several games involving 5 teams that are all good enough to get here. Class 5A's 4th-ranked Blanchard traveled to Class 4A's top-ranked Washington for a battle of softball powers. Washington scored first in the bottom of the first inning when Caitlin Cooley hit the smash to right that Sam Plott plucked off the grass. Kelby Robertson hurried home, and then Ashley Rangel tried to score when the ball got past the catcher, but she was tagged out by Nicole Nelson. The Lady Lions tied the game when Jessica Curlis singled up the middle to bring home a sliding Hallie Ledbetter. Later, with Washington up 3-1, Katie Curry's single scored Rangel for a 4-1 lead, and then Rachel Smith's single plated Cooley. Washington improved to 4-0 this season against Blanchard with the 5-1 win. The Lady Warriors then turned around to play Class 2A's 2nd-ranked Sterling. Robertson got things started with her double down the line that allowed Hunter Hancock to score. Then Rangel's sacrifice fly to center brought home freshman Jill Clements. Sterling came up with a nice defensive play when second baseman Emily Faring found a way to hang on long enough to the pop fly for the out. Washington won this one 8-0. At Newcastle, the 13th-ranked Lady Racers were hosting 14th-ranked Lindsay. Newcastle leadoff hitter Taylor Smith crushed the solo home run to left field in the bottom of the first inning for the early lead. In the top of the 4th inning, with the game tied at 1, Christina Wadey doubled off the chalk down the left field line that scored Natalie Foster all the way from first base to give Lindsay a 2-1 lead. The lead grew to 4-1 when Tess Robbins rocked the 2-run home run just out of the reach of Paige Pullum over the left field fence. Devin Robbins then singled through the infield, bringing home Kylie Blau as Lindsay left town with the win. And next week, the Express will be right here covering all 6 of the state tournaments. For the Oklahoma High School Sports Express, I'm Norrelle Dickson.
We had some rain earlier tonight, but the skies are clearing, and it looks like we're going to get in Bedlam softball game 2 tonight from Marita Hines Field on the campus of the University of Oklahoma in Norman as the 8th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners take on the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Brinkley along with former Sooner All-American Norrelle Dickson. Glad you're with us for this second Bedlam game in as many days. Last night, Oklahoma a 3-1 winner over the Cowgirls in Stillwater. Oklahoma's 11-2 in the Big 12. They're in 2nd place, still have hopes of winning the league title. OSU, on the other hand, has been playing better lately, Norrelle, and they think if they can put some things together, they can win tonight.
They have a young team, but they are improving every day.
Let's take a look at some of the key players to watch for tonight on both sides.
For OSU, first we have Alyssa Hamilton hitting .362 for the Cowgirls, the most consistent hitter, and they'll need her offensive spark tonight. You got Sarah Odom, a tough freshman pitcher. This left-handed pitcher could give OU hitters, could give them a run for their money tonight. She's got to settle in and throw strikes early. For OU, you have Samantha Ricketts. The junior first baseman's climbing in the OU history books, and she had all 3 of OU's RBIs in the first Bedlam matchup, and tonight the Sooners will look to her for a spark. Lauren Eckerman, she's the second part of OU's pitching duo, and she carried the pitching load for the Sooners a lot last year, and she hasn't skipped a beat this year. She'll be tough for the Sooners tonight in the circle.
Oklahoma will try to continue their Bedlam dominance, looking for their 13th straight win over the Cowgirls. When we come back, we'll have the keys to the game. This is the Ford Bedlam Series on the Sooner Sports Network. Here's Wendy Trott, freshman from Fountain Valley, California, hitting .290. 6 homers, 24 runs batted in. She's been in a slump of late in the last 12 games, hitting just .161.
It's interesting here. With no outs and the tie scored, you would expect Coach Gasso to bunt or do some type of short game to move Savannah Long into scoring position. So we'll have to see what Coach gives here.
Trott lays it down, and that's a pretty good bunt, fielded by Odom. Long easily advances to second base, and the sacrifice moves Savannah Long into scoring position.
That was a good job. A good sacrifice bunt. Good technique. Perfectly squared around. Bat has a good angle. She sees the ball down before she takes off to first base. Picture perfect bunt.
Ranked in the top 10 in both of the major polls. 1-2, and that hits Gearhart. And that's something Sooner pitchers have had a problem with this year. They have the most hit batters in the league. That's the 46th on the season for OU pitchers.
Unforced errors, you don't want to see that by your pitching staff. You don't want to give the opponents free bases and free opportunities to score runs.
And Gearhart hit for the 13th time this season. That leads the Cowgirls in that department. That'll bring up Caitlin Bright, who singled and reached second base on an error in the first inning and then was stranded there. Gearhart certainly a threat to steal, has 23 stolen bases this year, tied for second in the Big 12 and tied for the third most in Cowgirl history.
I'm sure Lindsay Vanderveer is definitely aware of that. We see her up and a little higher of a stance with those thigh muscles triggered. They're ready to go. She's ready to throw right from that position.
Vanderveer's thrown out 12 of 31.